Вас приветствуем на Бонейре. Посмотрите, какая красота. Прозрачная вода, чистейшая, прямо в порту. Мы сейчас готовимся выйти на экскурсию, вернее, мы уже вышли. Прям стоим на причале, ждем, когда нас заберут наши экскурсоводы. Ставить лайнер. Очень тепло. Сегодня у нас какое число? 14 декабря.
So this fort here was built in around, actually they don't have the correct dates, the real date when it was built. Nobody really put a real date to it. It was around 1799. They think that it was built. So it was just a fort with a lighthouse on it. And then after that, in 1837, that's when that big building behind it, of the building, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about a little bit. Let me show you guys that light blue building we just passed. That's Port Authority. That's Port Authority. This building here, also to the left of here, with the orange roof, with a little bit of black roof. That's the first one is Justice Department, and the second one with the orange roof, that's actually the House of Parliament. Okay, that's the House of Parliament. The light blue building in the distance over there with a big tree in the yard. You got a 3-story building over there. That's our police station. Right in front of us here, that light blue building in front of us, that's our post office. Towards the left, that's the building I was talking about. That's around the time that Klondike came to existence, the capital of the island, which Coral Dyke, literally translated from Dutch to English, means Coral Dyke. Anyway, so we're right in Klondike, like you guys can see, the capital of the island. So right now we're entering in one of the most important streets on the island. Yeah, anyway, so we have tourist office in front of us here. Very quiet today. That's kind of nice. It's quiet today. We have a Protestant church here, by the way, if you have any religious support. So now, like I was telling you guys, we entering Calle Grande in my language, which is Papiamento, means big street. So we're just entering the big street. But I would suggest you guys please don't blink, because even if the name says it's a big street, it's not that big. So if you blink, you might go, hey, where was the big street? So luckily we have a train in front of us. It's going really slow, so it will feel like it's really big. Guys, the yellow building with the black roof over there, that's our courthouse. That's courthouse right in front. Actually, you guys are moored right into a dock next to it. The cruise market is also right in front of the courthouse. So later when you come back, when I drop you guys off, you can walk right into the market there, and there's people there that sell their stuff that they make here. Sometimes they sell fruits down there and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to. So this is downtown Kralendijk, guys. You guys can see everything is closed. Today is Sunday. Maybe some store might open later. Usually when there's cruise ship in port, they will also open on Sunday. But yeah, there's this one here is towards my left over here. Sorry, my right left. This one, my right. Towards my right over here. This is for you guys. It's not open. Sorry, I was gonna say it's open. Oh, she's gonna open up now. So yeah, there's some stores gonna be open in town here. I have a story for you guys about downtown here, about Calle Grande, because right now it looks very modern, very beautiful, but it always looked beautiful, but through the years it changed a lot. When I'm talking about it changed a lot through the years. When I was a kid, actually, there used to be a street, actually for a long time, till in my teens, actually after my teens, in my 20s or so. There used to be a street here, or still is, but it used to be 2 ways. Okay, so there used to be a parking spot each side. It used to be as wide as it is from the house from that building to the next building. It was also a small place where a car can park, and it used to stretch continuing all the way through. The same way where you can see that brown car coming, it used to continue being one single road. And it used to be the only road that I remember as a kid. I remember as a kid, this was the only road that was kind of like really stretched, really long, really paved. And then through the years, of course, the island progressed. Things got better for the island, I think. So a lot of some of the supermarket, the hardware store that used to be in town, all either went bankrupt or moved out of there. So right now, what you will find in downtown is very much places where tourists go. When you guys come to Bonaire, this is where you will go do some shopping, you know, like souvenir shopping, restaurant, bars, and stuff like that will be right in town there. Even for me, sometimes when I want to go out with my wife, that's where we go to. So we can go and find out where we can go to dinner. So it's pretty much happening in town. Stores for the people of the island, you know, like supermarket, hardware store, and all that. It's all out of town. So I will show you guys that too, because there's a few of them along the way when we're coming back to town. All right, guys. One thing that I want to talk about right away is the status of the island. Okay, because along the way you're gonna hear. Oh, it did rain today. Look at that. Oh wow. My house was not a single, well actually there was a little itty bitty drop that I found on my oil, but beside that I didn't find any big puddle like we see in here. Wow guys, we're in the raining season, by the way. I'll tell you guys, I'm laughing about that, but I'll tell you guys how rainy season is, because here we don't get much rain at all. I mean, we got about 18-20 inches a year, about 30 centimeters a year, that's all we get. So, but I'll talk about it a little bit later, right? So that's why I'm laughing when I'm talking about rainy season. Anyway, guys, one thing that I want to talk about, like I said, I want to talk about the status of the island. So I want to go a little bit into time here before 1986, because Netherlands Antilles, which was a self-determination country within the Dutch Kingdom, used to consist of 6 islands. Those islands used to be Aruba, Curaçao, Bonaire, Sint Maarten. Anyway, so in 1986, that's when Aruba decided they no longer want to be part of Netherlands Antilles, so that's when they left Netherlands Antilles, and it was at that point only 5 islands left in Netherlands Antilles. So hey, Flamingo, I'm gonna pull in here briefly. Flamingo in the distance over there, guys. I'm letting these, but it still got its water from there. Anyway, so that's we have about 6 wetlands on the island. That's one of them. A lot of wetlands are all protected, so nobody allowed to go in there or do anything in there, because it's very much for the birds. Because I don't see apartments or anything here, so I don't know what these guys really do. I see they have a pool down there. I seen a scuba diving instructor teaching the other day down there, or I think they were teaching. You can see they have a pool over there, a long pool. So I saw somebody, and they have a dive school there. So I'm not really sure what they really do. I need to find more information, but they just do. So it's just being about a little bit over here to be open. And also we have a marine park, which is part of Stinapa, and they do the same work but on the water. Basically what they do is protect everything that's basically on the beach all the way to now. Why we need to protect that, because without protection our reef will be gone, and we will not have a beautiful reef system like Bonaire have. Right now I'm going to show you a spot, just one spot. Right now I'm going to show you guys a spot, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Especially now the sun is out, so you'll be able to see it. Really nice and clear. Really nice and clear. See the water. Oh yes, it is. You see how clear the water is, guys? I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. Actually, the depth of the water here, you will think that it's really shallow, right? It looks like it's around 5 feet of water. You know, like 3 meter. 5 feet of water, so like 3 meter. 10 feet. Some of you guys. Can you guys judge how deep the water is here? Can anybody? No, nobody can. This is 3 meters. Sorry, I said 3 meter, 5 feet, 3 meter. No, this is around 3 meter to 5 meter deep. Okay, this is around 15 to 10 feet of water. So if you jump off of this cliff, you will not hit the bottom. But the water is so clear that what reflect back to your eyes is that the bottom is right there. Just because everything that's in the water will appear 25% bigger. So you're looking at the water so clear. So, wow, it looks like right there, but actually, in reality, you're looking at all the corals to whatever depth it goes. Guys, I was 30 years in diving. I was 30 years scuba diving instructor, so my wife and I both. My wife a little bit last 25 years because she started doing this, and then I continued diving, teaching diving, and also being on boats and do all kinds of other stuff. So I know a lot about reef systems. So after I decided, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to grow up, do a grown-up job. So that's when I ended up had to learn everything about the history of the island, all the way out to drive with people and do a whole island tour. So it took a little bit, but I'm here now. And now we have our own business, both of us, and we're running with you guys, showing you guys the beauty of the island. I want to show you guys through my eyes. That's what I'm doing today. Doing through my eyes how it should be, how Bonaire should be shown to people. All right. Look how beautiful it is, guys. The water is clear. At every given time, we have between 100 to 120 feet visibility. Okay, what I'm talking about here, this is between 30 meter, 40 meter visibility. So that means that the water is so clear pretty much throughout the year that a lot of times, sometimes when I was diving, and I remember the water depth is like 60 feet, 80 feet. I'm like, oh man, the water visibility was the worst I ever seen it. And I'm complaining to some of the divers that come from US or Canada or whatever they come from, and they go diving in quarry where the water is kind of like they can barely see their hands. So then there's like, you should come diving where we're diving because we can barely see our hand in the water we're diving in. And understandably, because I'm spoiled with such beautiful reefs. About according to history, around 100 to 120 million years ago in that ballpark, by underwater volcanic eruptions. There was a hot spot here that started forming this island. Not only Bonaire, but also Curacao, Aruba, the same thing. Also, some of the Venezuelan islands all were formed in about the same era, the same time, around the same time. I mean, 100 probably million years apart, but a few million years apart, but not by much. Anyway, so majority part of the island, I'm talking about Bonaire right now, majority part of it, once the whole process stopped, it didn't surface. Okay, so this part of Bonaire stay underwater after that for another several million years. But being underwater for such a long time, end up having all kinds of marine life growing on top of it, all kinds of coral, all kinds of name it. Everything that was swimming around in the water, when they perish, they all end up at the bottom of on top of this rock, and before you know, when they all disintegrate, they end up becoming part of the rock, and then of course that continue on, end up. See what I'm talking about? They already start making it up. I'm glad it didn't. You're going the wrong way. I wish. Oh, she's already here. No, the other bus they're running together with us. Is up behind me. So. Oh yeah, there's some of them near the road. Let's see here. Nothing near the road here. I see one near the road over there. So, I think I can comfortably say that you guys are going to see if I'm going to go up close. And we're probably one of the places in van that's going by here. So, that's one there, yeah, near the road over there. Usually flamingo, when they see a lot of traffic, they have the tendency to move farther in, and yesterday there was no cruise ship in, so that's what I was expecting. I expect them to come close to the road today, but it doesn't look like that's the case. But at least we got one near the road. Doesn't care. It's like, I'm eating. Leave me alone. Look at that. Yeah. They eat shrimp. Brine shrimp. And this water is salty water and have indirect connection with the ocean. So water sip through underneath the limestones. There's always water in here, but because it's a slow process of getting its water from the ocean, the water tend to, because it's staying there longer, it have the tendency to get saltier, especially during the summertime. Wintertime depends on how much it rains, and if it rains a lot, the water can become brackish, then the brine shrimp will leave. But if that's a beaver dam, nope, it's not a beaver dam. That's people that build that because that's a private land, so they build a fence so people won't go across onto their private land. Got a small flamingo coming up, but they're not too close to the road like that one is. But I hope I see a few that's closer to the road than closer to the road, but not as close as that one was. I think I can see them in the distance there. I see it either. Yeah. We're also looking into the national part of it, which is about 240 meter tall in the distance there. Well, about, for you guys that use feet and inches, guys, look at those little baby sandpiper right here, right down next to the road here. All right, there's some more flamingo coming up here. I rain quite a bit around here, guys. Oh yeah, that's something that I didn't tell you. We get about like I said, 30 centimeter, about 20 inches to 30 centimeter a year in that ballpark. So Bonaire is not really known for his rain and rainforest and all that. So Bonaire is a very dry island, especially in the summertime. A lot of times through the years we can go for a full year without few months without seeing any rain. Not here, a few months without seeing any rain. So sometimes like already April, May, June, July, August, September, no rain. Guys, I'm gonna stop you for the last time so you guys can see this. Just a shot of this. I'm gonna stop right across the yeah, in the summertime, this is completely dry here. To the right, it's completely dry, and also to the left. So it can dry quite a bit. So that makes it easy for people to walk across into the national park. We also have the national park, and they don't want you to just walk into the national park. You need to go through the entrance. So that's why they blocked it. Okay, that's why that fence is there if you're wondering about that. Discovered Bonaire, they were here for a short bit, and they noticed that there were Indians living here on the island. Those Indians that were living here was Indians from mainland, from South America, which were Arawak Indians, the Indian tribes that used to live alongside the coast of Venezuela, Colombia, Guyana, Amazon. All those were Arawak Indians. To the north, to the south of South America, you had the Inca Indians. So that was two separate. So anyway, so the ones that were living here were a branch of that called the Caiquetillo. So when the Spanish arrived here, that's the person that they. Then now it's Haiti. Back then they used to call it Hispaniola. They took them there, used them as slaves, and then after that they decided, you know what, we need to go back to Bonaire, because Bonaire we can also do quite a bit of agriculture. It rained quite a bit here, guys. Nice to see that. Anyway, so in 1527, that's when they arrived for the second time on the island to establish themselves here and start using the island as an agricultural island to harvest plants, to harvest trees, to even harvest salt. Anyway, they also brought animals, because they brought the donkeys, they brought goats, they brought pigs, they brought things to plant, for example. They brought sorghum, coffee, name it, all those stuff that they need to survive on. So they brought them, and now they need a place. And this place, they find it around here. If you look at it, Rincon is surrounded by hills. We came from, when it rains, the water will automatically run towards the lowland, and that's how they were taking care of their. They were able to take care of their livestock and everything else that they brought with them. So now I'm also going to show you how they used to collect the water, because right now you're going to see two viaducts. At least that's what I call it. Where this used to transport the water here, going to the left here, and this one would proceed towards the lowland. And here's another one, the second one. So these ones as old as the as Rincon. So this is how the water will go. See, all overgrown, no longer used. Of course, the water still go through that. Of course, the water still go through there towards the lowland. Anyway, so they stay here for a short bit, and then in 1636, using the island for agriculture. So and then in 1837, that's when they moved to Kralendijk. Kralendijk become the capital. So here in Rincon then continue being an agriculture place of agriculture. They're gonna have some party here tonight, guys. Looks like we're gonna have some band. This museum was built around 1897. It was a house where the family was living in, and it was given from generation to generation. This generation now, this family that owns it now decides, you know what, instead of selling it, let's make a museum out of it. So that's what it is right now. This is a museum, so you guys can walk in there and check it out. And if you need to go to the restroom, come to me. I have a coin for you. And
Как вам такой забор? Экологичнее не бывает. Ну и, наверное, один из самых безопасных, надежных и самых легких в обслуживании. Так, попробуем сейчас кактусовый ликер. Будешь?
Давай, не смотри, ты упадешь, не упадешь.
Так. Ты взял? Ну, пахнет вкусно. Посмотри на меня. Пахнет вкусно, говорю.
Да?
Давай.
Не страшно?
Чин-чин. Нет,
Чин-чин.
не страшно. Вообще даже слабенький какой-то. Может, где он без градусов?
15, по-моему, там написано.
15?
Cabo Verde trade whatever they have for slaves and continue to the Caribbean, and then trade the slaves for whatever they can get, and then sail back to Netherlands. So, guys, let's slow down here because this is the area that we might see some more donkeys. No donkey, guys. Not even a single one. One to the right. Towards the right, towards our right, you see one. Yep, that's one there. Yep, that's one there. And if you look on top of the hill, if you look on top of the cliff, out of that since the 70s already, everything is back into, everything is under the government. So it's universal now. Even schools now are universal. So yeah, back then they used to have Catholic school, Protestant school, you know, everything used to be separated, but not anymore. So everything is under one roof now. So Catholics doesn't have much say anymore in politics. In the past, it used to be their word was God, the word was the thing, but not anymore. Anyway, so we are on track. Actually, there's no official history in the sense that in the sense that it didn't have, all the houses in the past used to be painted yellow or white, because that's the only two colors that was that they could make, and that was cheap to make. But now, the last few years, one thing that I always tell people, how this is not part of the complete part of history, but in the past, and this I grew up with that, we didn't have we didn't have street addresses. Sorry, just concentrated, turning there. We didn't have street addresses, and a lot of times people will paint their color on their house. For example, my house, actually my house, to tell you guys the truth, my house is the most boring color, it's gray. Anyway, and everybody around me, like I know there's red around me, there's green next to me, and in front of me there's orange, and some guy next to the orange is even have pink. So, for example, if you want to find my house, you know, you send them like in the direction of that street, and then you tell them, you know, if you next to the greenhouse, that's a great house, that's the house. I still do that, you know, and I remember that. That's how we all used to do it in the past, because there was no street address. It was just the last 30 years or so that they started giving street addresses to houses. So that's the only thing I can tell you why people always loved it. And it's stuck, you know, it's something that right now you go downtown, you know, people still paint. Anywhere you go in the alley will not have somebody painting the house. Anyway, here, fire department, guys, yellow building there. And I have to say though, yellow building become very much associated with government building now. So very seldom you'll have somebody painting the house yellow, you know. Well, here you see a few yellow, but government yellow is like that bright yellow you guys just saw over there. You know, that's a government yellow, we call it. All right, later, if you're into taking some pictures of that on the way back, I will slow it down a little bit, and then you guys can have some shots. International Airport, you can see American Airlines over there. I think they're leaving, or they're not leaving. I think they're broken. That could be too, because usually around this time we won't have a flight. The flight won't be coming in till in the afternoon, and then if one is in right now, it should be leaving early in the morning, so they can have connected flight. But if 11 o'clock is still sitting on the tarmac, or it must have started leaving really early from wherever it came from. Anyway, so like you guys can see, American Airlines is here. That Chicago is part of TUI. So TUI is a flight there for them. So I think they either directly affiliated or indirectly affiliated with TUI. So this area here. Okay, she must be telling another story about something there that I don't know about. Anyway, this area here that we're going through, if you're paying attention up north, that's where we find a lot of the resort. You'll find a lot of resort up north. It's more like a tourist zone, while this one is a combination of both. So you have people living here, people will be living alongside the water. This is a very expensive home right here, you see to the right. Both of them. Sorry, all three of them now. All three of them, actually. This guy here, the last house here, before we get, this is a house in Peatbone. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. If I'm Dutch or more, you probably know what I'm talking about. He's a famous architect. He do a famous building in Netherlands. That's his house right there. You have a few of them out on the island somewhere. Anyway, so we're going through Belnem. Belnem got its name from Harry Belafonte, the singer. According to history, he used to have a piece of land here, quite a bit of piece of land here. Him and Nemcio. Nemcio was a Norwegian, and then they sold all of it. And of course, this area needed a name. So this is not an old area like that's going up. Every time I come in this area, I pass this area for some reason, either by myself or something, I see they're building something. So, what's that? Diving is all around the island, but if you're asking if they have dive shop around here, That's only one dive shop, and that's we harvesting. Like for example, just to give you an example, you see how this you can see the ocean now. In the past, before Lenny, we could not see the ocean. There used to be a dike there built out of coral, and it got wiped. Lenny started with it and started tossing the coral onto here, so that they cleaned it up, and then Hurricane Ivan 2004 finished it off. It took all that dike that used to be there and tossed it onto the road. You know, not Long Beach you can walk, because it's like beach, rocky beach, kind of like that. All this, you see how it's all eroded away? All that used to be a beach. I mean, made out of rock and a little bit of sand. So it could be, any storm that comes from that direction could be very devastating for us. All right, so anyway, use this salt flats here to harvest salts. You will get your own later, guys. This is mine. Nobody will have it. I'm just kidding. I love this one because it looked like a dog. You didn't know that? Yeah. No, usually, anyway, so here Cargill, I'm into agriculture and stuff like that. They have big farms in the U.S. That's a little bit I know about them. That's how much I know about them. So they own this salt flats here. So here they harvest salt, like I mentioned. They use natural process. They use ocean water for that. But before they get it from ocean water to in that pond that you see here towards our left, they need to make a brine. Okay, so they'll take that water, pump it into area way in the back there, which is going to sit for about 3.5% salt content, which is in there right now, to about 26%. So once you reach a goal of 26%, that's when they will put in a crystallizer there, and in the crystallizer, it will sit for another 7 to 9 months, so it can crystallize to this size.
Приехали на солончики, или как их называют, место, где добывают соль. С обратной стороны сейчас покажу. Чистая вода, как всегда, на Карибах. С аквалангами плавают даже. На той стороне можете видеть прям горы соли. Вот они, кристаллы соли. Такая вот белоснежная потом красота получается. Многочисленно еще очищать будут потом после. Пожалуйста. Что, они всю соль забрали еще? Осталось еще немножко. Ну да, я же говорю, еще не все растащили. Попробовать, лизнуть надо. Белое золото.
9 months. And then from there, once they reach about 30 centimeter, about a foot for you guys that use inches, about 12 inches or so, that's when they will drain the rest of the brine in a canal that you see here towards our left over here. And then after that, they bring the machines, big machines, like harvester type machines. Then trucks come alongside harvester and take the salt crystal to the washer and add a washer to impurity get washed of it. And that conveyor belt that you guys saw over there, that's what will fill up the ship. So the salt on, where the washers will continue going to the arm, and that arm will put it in the salt pyramids. And the same conveyor belt also got used to fill up the ship where the ship docks alongside of here. All right, so that's how the process goes. And this salt actually, Cargill only want to use it. You know, so a lot of snow on the ground, they use it to melt the ice, I think. I never been in there, I never know. That's what we were told. Guys, this is the pump station here. Everything happened right here. So this is where, when they're done with the brine, this is where I go back to the ocean. So that's the outlets. And then we're gonna go over an inlets here where the water goes to actually there's 3 inlets. 1 here and 3 farther down, which we will not see today, because we're not going that way. Anyway, so this is the line here. This goes to the pump station, and at a pump station, that's where all the water gets moved around where it needs to go. Okay, the lake to the left,
And further way
Yep.
over there,
No, those are kite surfing.
oh,
Yeah, kite surfer. Oh, it landed on that mangroves. Oh wow, cool. Kite surfers, yes. It's basically a sail.
Да, я видео снимаю. Рассказывай теперь. Для детей?
Я туда не пойду, даже ползком.
Ты будешь жить снаружи?
В теньке вот там рядом под кустом.
Рядом под кустом. Да, интересно. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Как тут узенько все.
It is illegal to take anything here with you. But if you get caught, not from here, they will not search you here. But if you got into a whole port, and you got, so they.
Смотрите, как мило. Люди выкладывают из камушек свои инициалы, имена, надписи. Туристы найдут возможность написать что угодно, где угодно. Увековечить свое. Вот в 2025-м кто-то тоже посетил еще.
It's you guys see, you should be able to see the lighthouse from there. Yeah, so that's how art is coming. Just that spot. I mean a little bit here too, but more over there. That's where it's and then it show up, drench everything, and then move on. So it's like about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It will soak everything and then it'll move on. Oh yeah, wind picked up too. Yeah, here it is. Well, we're not getting the worst of it. Those people that went in the open bus, they're getting the worst of it. sunny in Tamil, so that's a good thing. Yeah, for you guys it's sunny.
Вот и начался дождь. Ничто не предвещало еще каких-то пару минут.
Yes.
Наблюдают.
It's not that easy.
Аквалангисты там были.
There's a few reasons. The question was if the salt crystal was dissolved when it rains. Actually, the reason why they wash it first is to wash impurity off of it. Second reason is that when they put it on the salt pyramid like that, it clumps together when it dries up, and it becomes a giant clump of salt, and it becomes as hard as this road. So basically, when it rains, it doesn't work as individual salt crystal gets dissolved. Is the whole mountain have to dissolve at the same time? Past then, because then that's a giant clump of salt that's going to dissolve if it rains. So they're not losing much with that. Just imagine if each clump of salt was working separately, then it will dissolve a lot faster. So once when it's wet, it can create basically a protection for itself against the wind and against the rain if it rains. So right now, if they wanted to start taking the salt and like for example, they need a ship comes to the pier and they need to fill the ship up, then what they do then, they need to start breaking the salt crystal from on top coming down. So yeah, they need to start breaking it. So there'll be a machine like a dozer type machine that will start tearing it apart to make it back to this, so they can put it onto the conveyor belt. Clump together, they're very big pieces, even bigger than this. I see salt crystal. So all right, that's a little bit about Cargill. Any more question about that? Can't answer as much as I know. I mean, it was so much fun going through the excursion there. I think the most fun I had doing that class, or doing the whole thing about there, going from one spot to the next, because it's so huge. They have about 6,200 acres, so everything that they wanted to explain to us, we're driving to it. It'll take us a while, and then you need to drive in square because it's not like you have a straight line to go there. So it was getting us even longer to get from one point to the next. And also, one thing that I forgot to mention: the sanctuary, the Flamingo Sanctuary, is also located at Cargill, in the center of Cargill. And we were not allowed to go there. Even the tour guide from the property itself wasn't allowed to take us there. So we needed to lay their eggs, or they lay their eggs, and also they nurse their young. And from there they take flights to whatever they need to go. Like they go to the wetland that we saw today, Moto Lake, to Mateis. Mateis is the one next to the marina that I show you guys. That's where they even go to Aruba, Curacao, whatever they have wetlands. Venezuela, they'll fly from here, and usually the ones from Venezuela, every morning, if you manage to get up early and sun's up or sundown, if you're lucky, you stand alongside the coastline here, you can see them flying back at night, and then during the morning, you can see them flying away. It's very cool to see, actually. I've been a few times flamingo spotting, not in the morning because I'm not a morning person, but at night. You need to be at the right place at the right time, because if you're too far off, sometimes they will fly in and you'll be like far away from them to see them. And sometimes if you're, this is last year, we had a beach party or something. Well, it was a beach party. I arrived late, like 8 o'clock or so. And you know, at that time I didn't even think about, you know, flamingo being flying. So I arrived there and there was quite still people there. And then suddenly we keep hearing like, and I keep telling them, I think flamingos coming our way because you can hear them in the distance. And then the whole flock flew. Actually, it's not called a flock; it's called flamboyant. Flamboyant flew right over us. I mean, scared. I told the people I was there, you know, I think the flamingos are coming, and they didn't. They said, nah, you know, I'm probably still too sober. I said, yeah, I'm sober. That's why I know that they're coming. You know, they were gonna blame me being still sober. That's why I'm hearing things. And then it flew right over us. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Well, we couldn't see them clear because it was dark, of course. There's no. Anyway, any more questions about anything, guys? Passing the airport this time to the right. You guys that missed it earlier. The only beach that we have where there is a little bit of sand. All the rest of the beaches that we have. Fire department to the right this time. You guys that missed it earlier. Oh, well, hold. I'm slowing down a bit in the curves because sometimes there's some donkey. Oh, give it a minute. We gotta go to the fire department. Hope they're not coming out now. Yeah. I hope the fire department is not coming out now because I'll be in the way. You guys are sitting left. Let me do this.
У нас сумасшедшие водители, пассажиры. Вот надо было вот этих вот
Anyway, so they were brought to the
животных
island for that, and also to use as transportation. You know, they put a
пешаков
cart behind
вместо
them. You know, a lot of tow, whatever heavy
красоты.
stuff they
О,
needed. And
баранчик
then
там
after
бежит
that, you know,
еще.
cars came along. They don't need them anymore, so they let it go. So till just recently, 2015, we didn't know that these donkeys that we have here, actually don't come. There's a lot of breed of donkeys were very much a nuisance for a while. People start hating having the donkeys here on the island. So the government tried to find a solution what to do with them. So they hired an expert to see what to do. And then guess what? When the experts are finding out that these donkeys doesn't come forth anywhere else except here in Bonaire. Because these are Nubian donkeys, Nubian-ass donkeys. They originated around Egypt, the Egypt area. So there were donkeys that were really made for open landscape, you know, to walk distance without needing a lot of water. You know, they know how to survive on pretty much nothing. So the Spaniard brought them here because of that, and they thought that they went extinct. And then here, there we had a few thousands of them roaming around. Now the number is around 3,000, a little bit over 3,000. We also have a donkey sanctuary, which also. Not down, but keep the number, you know, from continuing growing. Because that they started a few years ago. They started with castrating the donkeys, but then a lot of them end up.
Приветствуем вас на Бонейре. Ветерок, правда? Ласковый. Конечно же, синева, голубизна, море. Сачок есть?
Сачок?
Снимай майку, ловить будем.
Прыгать на нее.
Ну, вон она там дальше чуть-чуть. Иди сюда. Вот смотрите, вот лайнер стоит. Даже далеко не надо ходить. Да.
картина или...
Представляете, какое чудо. Прям вот тут рядом с лайнером. А вон там желтенькая плавает в воде. Просто видно невооруженными глазами. Вообще здорово. Это Бонейра. Тут не только дома разноцветные, но и рыбки.
Проект не пробыла.
Посмотрите около камня,
Она
если
сюда
вам видно.
подплывет. Она что-то там ловит.
Ага.
Все, была. Там
Ага.
вторая, опять
Ага.
там же.
А камушки. Прям в порту. Чудеса совсем рядом. Только нужно их уметь замечать. А какое сегодня чудо с вами случилось? Посмотрите, вот даже прям тоненькая такая рыба-игла разноцветная. А вот еще синенькая. Блин, как классно. Вообще. Аквариум прям под ногами. Там еще разных, много таких ярких. Здорово. Вообще. Красота. А, 2 штуки даже там плавают.
Вот еще одна там дальше. А тут 2 даже вот.
Да. Надеюсь, вам видно отсюда. Класс. У нас сегодня через 1,5 часа будет экскурсия на глаз-бот. Я так понимаю, можно даже стоя. Ой, ветер подул, немножко заребило. Даже можно стоя пирса увидеть, насколько интересен подводный мир здесь. Ветерок, давай, уходи, прозрачная водичка совсем. А вот да, вот смотрите, вот еще рыба-игла, или как их называют, не знаю, тоненькая плывет. Вот они все плавают тут. Одна синяя, другая просто такая не сильно синяя. Вон их сколько много тут.
Носик.
Ага. Кто-то рассыпал спицы. Или крючки.
Там внизу тоже там.
Вон, смотрите, цветные рыбки. Здорово. Вон туристы вернулись с экскурсии. Глаз-бот. У нас чуть попозже тоже будет. Корабль пешком ходит на перегонки побыстрее. Куда? Бежал. Вон там еще. Как вам показать его? На этом ботике, на этой лодочке мы поедем. смотреть наших рыбок. Очень удобно, что прям около причала садимся. Глаза моря написано. Глаз бот и зе. Таких рыбок мы должны сейчас увидеть. Всех. Эти все, да? Так. И, я так понимаю, это наш маршрут, куда мы пойдем.
I can tell you one thing about the mountains, it's not the country. Small town is very country. When something goes up, I'm really fast impressed. So when I start to live here, for me that's mountain area, the north side. This area, there's a map around it here, but this is the north, and this is the mountain area, up till 1,000 feet high. And starting from the one line with pretty steep climbs in front of you. Nice hiking trails, 4x4 trails, and also nice mountain bike trails. Did someone of you go around today on the islands? You see the main vegetation is cactus, right? 4 months ago I had a race, mountain bike race. I was a sprint on top, I went down, I passed 2 guys, I went head over into the vegetation. I can tell you, they took 3 hours in a small hospital here with 4 nurses to take all the needles out. And asphalt is only the yellow line. Just because we want to have nature as much as possible. The Flamingo area is to the south. So this is mountain area, and this is completely flat. It's salt water, you'll see it's big water inside. It's not allowed to walk into it because it's a big nursing area for flamingos. At night, the parent flamingos, they scare away the parents, they will never come back for the young flamingos. That's why the rule is not walking into that area. But it's beautiful. In the morning you'll see all the flamingos. You can go around, you will see a lot of flamingos in the summer. Blue tank. It's called a blue tank.
A lot of them.
And that's Finding Nemo. And there's a filefish in the back. The strange fish there, hard to see, camouflage, is a filefish. They are eating algae now, so that's good.
That's good. There's a lot of the black. What's the black fish?
The black fish in the middle.
Oh, maybe it's not black. It has blue.
Oh, it's blue. Some are the more dark blue.
Yeah, it has a blue
yeah, some are light
trim.
blue. Yes.
It's electric blue on the edge. See when they turn?
Yeah, especially when in the sun,
Yeah,
you
the
will see it's
sun.
clear blue.
They look black, but then they turn, and then you see the blue, the electric. Oh yeah, there's a pretty. Yeah, we didn't see that many of these corals when we were here. Hey, is good with it?
No, I'm good. I just needed a
We're all related, so. Oh, nice, because I see them coming this way. It's good that the sun's out. You know, the more the sun's out, the better we see. Kind of an interesting way to do it. At least your mask doesn't get all foggy. How far? We are pretty. No, we're not that bad.
The small blue one, swimming right here, that's blue grummet, and that's a yellow-head wrest. The black tail, yellow in the front, yellow-head wrest.
We have yellow and black. There's a lot of sand here. I like the black with the blue. I don't think you'll see those. So it's the black one with the blue electric dots.
Yeah, that's a small.
Those are so
Striped one, the
small.
sergeant majors, yellow black striped fish. May not everyone, I will point them out when we see them again. I tell you some things about sergeant.
It's square.
Okay.
Wow. You would think you're just.
Yeah, we're pretty close now.
We're close now. We are. We are close. I mean, when you're swimming, you're what? Is this on about 4 feet below you? 3 feet? A little bit more? Yeah.
This old small fish you see here, the black with the white, is the bicolored damselfish. We have also the yellow-tailed damselfish.
and they are really have sometimes the behavior of a chihuahua. But they have their own
Chihuahua?
garden. And when a big fish is too close to the garden, they try to chase it away. So you see a small fish chasing a big one, that's a damsel fish. Yeah, the juveniles stop by parent fish, they're slowly turning a little bit, so the rat is going to go
there's
away.
that.
So they turn slowly green later.
I say I call that one the silver.
When they are really young, they have dark spots. A four-eyed butterfly, the fish with the spot on the back was a four-eyed butterfly fish.
Вот нам второй раз приносят уже хлеб в итальянском ресторане. И не просто разного вида. Палочки вот эти, хлеб, помидорка обязательно вяленая. И вот чеснок зажаренный на гриле или запеченный, не знаю. Но первый раз я его проигнорировала. Сейчас думаю, ну что ж такое, надо же попробовать. Вы знаете, мне понравился. Прям вот влюбляюсь в итальянскую кухню. Здесь вот такие вот стартеры опять нам принесли вкусненькие. Мы уже половину слопали, пока ждем. Да? Что тебе больше всего понравилось?
Пока еще не знаю, но вот эти кальмары вкусные.
Кальмары были вкусные, солямчика. Вот здесь лежала одна с уточки, другая с поросенком. А вот греночки вот эти вот, я вот сейчас чесночок туда намазываю. Угу. Антипасти, сыры. Ну, в общем, все вкусное.
Да, вот это скушаю.
Давай, скушай. Это стунфиш, да, вместе? Приятного аппетита. Доброе утро. Мы приехали на пляж. Сарабон пляж называется, на острове Бонейра. От автобусов сразу, от такси идет прямо с порта, от лайнеров $5 с человека. Будем сегодня купаться здесь. Очень хорошо для тех, кто любят вот такой вот активный вид спорта. Ветер что надо. Это скорость по воде. У кого-то не так хорошо получается. О, еще следующий несется.
Unique as in the Caribbean, we don't have many islands that look like this. So Bonaire, we are very lucky, very fortunate to have a lot of wetlands. And we have here wetlands that are to live and to breathe. So for that reason, because of Bonaire, we have a lot of area like this. Oh, they're taking flight. Birds, they don't like people, they don't like vehicles, they don't like a lot of noises. You just saw a car pass and they were like, yeah, let's just get as far away from this as possible. So unfortunately I cannot let you out of the vehicle at this point in time. Yeah, so just to summarize, so we have the wetlands and also the mangroves up ahead, so behind the water there are the mangroves. Earlier, this is really a perfect breeding ground for the flamingos. Here's one of their young. It feels totally safe. It's very comfortable. It's looking for food. It's not being bothered. And if there's a bird.
Смотрите, я такое вижу впервые. Горы вот этих ракушек. Конечно, уже испорченных, пробитых. Понимаю, наверное, здесь их естественная среда, их потом просто собирают в кучу, чтобы они здесь не валялись на пляже. Но вот таких гор штук здесь 5. Одна за одной. Да. Конечно, которые вовремя вылавливают, полируют, отправляют к нам на сувениры, продают. А вот так вот они в природе потом утилизируются сами собой. Так вот растет мангровый лес. Потихонечку, потихонечку. Где-то кусочек суши, где-то просто на воде. Хорошо сейчас купаться на закате. Водичка прелесть. Сейчас. Какая птичка тут летает. Охотится. какой огромный, я вам дам. Чё? Как твоя ножка? Хорошо. Летает прям огромный альбатрос. И тут готовятся уже все к встрече Новому году. Вот. Мы приехали вот на этом желтом, как это? Нет, кабриолете. Лимузине. Горы ракушек, ракушек, ракушек и мангровые леса.
Лохматку почесал. И давай, газу, давай, газу.
Сейчас растрясет.
О, нет, сейчас мы поедем по бездорожью.
Прикольно будет, если мы тут застряли. Кто нас выручать-то будет? Морская пена.
Плывем по морской воде. Пойдем.
Смотрите, сколько пены.
Все, давай, газу. Поехали. Так, продолжение.
Налету, говорит, налету надо уйти, пробегу.
Сейчас. Давай. Париж, Дакар. Весна.
taste of Christmas.